This week on Strong Arm Sports Podcast. Never before have I had such a small amount of confidence in the #1 seed. Because the Spurs ain't what everybody think they are. They Kawhi and a bunch of washed up has-beens. That's what that team is.
You trade up to #2 to draft a guy that you don't want to play this year to help your team this year at #2?
We supposed to be the losers, but we winning though. They used to laugh at us, now we winning though.
What is going on, folks? Welcome to a brand new exciting episode of Strong Arm Sports Podcast, the realest sport podcast in all the land. This happens to be the first time you guys are watching or listening to the show. I'm one half of the show. Go by the name of KSpadeTheProspect.
And I'm your boy LeParis57, and together we form Strong Arm Sports. Spade!
Yeah.
We had an action-packed week this week, bro. Action-packed week. Some things happened. Lavar Ball back in the news. Gotta talk him. Gotta talk NFL draft. I usually don't give people the teasers like that. I usually don't give them the teasers.
I know you.
But I'm telling you, we got a good show. Yeah, for real. We got a good show for him though. And Spade, where I want to start in a crucial NBA Game 7 game today. Well, tomorrow? Whatever it is. Right. It's a Game 7 coming up, Spade. Right. And it's the Clippers and the Jazz. Right. Spade, first of all, before you give me your thoughts on this game, let me talk to the Jazz real quick.
Okay.
Utah, you missed the opportunity, man. You missed a real big opportunity. Because you could have bodied the Clippers at home in Game 6. You guys weren't able to get it done. At the end of the game, it seemed like you guys had your finger on the button and you guys was trying to get this series over with, but I felt like you put the pedal to the metal a little too late in that Game 6. And now we're here in the Game 7, Spade. Back in LA. Jazz, Clippers, Spade, Game 7. Spade, talk to your boy. Who winning this game? Who winning this game? Why? What's going on?
It ain't nothing to say. Like, you really just said it. You guys had them in Game 6 in Utah, where there ain't nothing popping but like snow skiing and stuff. And you guys could have had a reason to celebrate and actually go find a nightclub, but you let them off the hook. You going back to California, you going to LA, and I just feel like, you know, a lot of times me and you say this thing when you see two teams competing like crazy and they go into overtime, like the team who had it and they kind of let it slip away when they go to overtime, they seem to never win. Like the momentum of the team that was given a little more life seemed to carry over, and the Clippers definitely bought themselves more time, and I don't think Chris Paul allows this team to lose Game 7. I don't see it happening.
I was going to say the same thing. It's one player on this court on both sides. I mean, Gordon Hayward, you get food poisoning, you get food poisoning.
Eating in Utah.
Gordon Hayward missed the game. Gordon Hayward missed the game with food poisoning. If I'm not mistaken, I think they may have won that game. I could be wrong, but I think they may have won that game.
Oh yeah, they did. They put that game out.
Then they come back. They come back in Utah, close out game. This is your opportunity to get the Clippers out of here and move on and play the Golden State Warriors. Now, I don't think either one of us have whichever one of these teams. Well, I'll get to that later. Let me get to that later. But Spade, I don't see Chris Paul. I don't see Chris Paul letting the Jazz come in here and beat them on their home floor. Chris Paul, when I tell you about a pit bull, Chris Paul is like that little chihuahua. You know that little chihuahua, you be walking your pit bull around the neighborhood, Spade. It's always this one little chihuahua in the yard just barking. Ah! Ah! And like the little chihuahua seem like he is bout it to go get your big ass pit bull. That's what we saying Chris
Paul is? You saying Chris Paul is chihuahua?
Yeah, Chris Paul is that little chihuahua with all the fight in the world. He just refused to let his team lose. And what they say about any size dog, Spade, you back him in the corner. What they gonna do, Spade?
They coming out of that corner, man.
Yeah, man. And I got my money on Chris Paul. I wouldn't mind, Spade. Spade, me and you was talking about this in a party, and then I'm gonna be quiet. But we was talking about this in a party, like when the game was on, and I said, man, I am shocked at how good the Utah Jazz have been playing this season. Yeah, man. And I mean, George Hill George Hill ain't putting up these astronomical numbers, but George Hill seemed to have solidified their point guard position. We think Gordon Hayward is a stud. Rudy Gobert, arguably one of the best defensive players in the league, if not the defensive player of the year. And I think I think the Jazz has some good pieces, and I'm shocked. I'm shocked at how good the Utah Jazz have been playing. I wouldn't mind them winning this game, but I just don't think Chris Paul will allow the Jazz to come out with this victory.
I don't think so either. I don't think so either. Time to tell.
I'm interested to know what the fans think, though, Spade. Like, leave in the comment section down below who you got, Jazz, Clippers. Who do you want to win? Like I said, I wouldn't mind the Jazz winning this game at all. I just don't know if they can compete with Chris Paul. Go ahead, Spade.
Well, while the rest of the world waits to see what's going to happen in this series so we can determine who gets the daunting task of getting a chance to face the Golden State Warriors in round 2, we do have some round 2 matchups. We're going to go ahead and give you guys our picks. Same way we did in round 1. You know what we should have did? And I know I'm thinking this on the fly. We should have went back to round 1 and see how many we picked correctly. But anyway, I guess we can do that.
We picked them all right except me. I didn't pick the Bulls. I picked the Bulls.
Are you still getting shit wrong? That's why we ain't having no pick'em game no more, y'all, because he's down too far. He like 8-9 games back in the pick'em game, so I mean, we scrapped that, and he's still messing up. Still messing up.
Spade, keep it funky. Was it not looking good until Rondo went down?
Oh yeah, it was. I ain't even gonna front.
Let me tell you something. I knew Rondo was a key factor, but I didn't know how big of a factor. I hate to go, I don't want to harp on it, but I didn't know how big of a factor Rondo would be, whether he was in or out. And Rondo, like, when Rondo out the game, the next game when Rondo was out, we had like 3 assists. Rondo had like 15 dimes at the half. Like,
I mean, one game y'all tried to play D Wade at the 1.
Yeah, man. Like, I mean, we had Zipser bringing up the ball. Yeah. Rondo was a key factor. Him going down definitely hurt us. I think we picked every series right except me. I picked the Bulls. I think you still had the Celtics winning that series. So I think you was right during that. So in other words,
I am batting 1,000. Anyway, let's get into the second round.
But wait. I don't think I'm 8 back. I think I'm like 6 back. Check the tape. I think I'm like 6 back.
Yeah. Round 2, man. We're gonna give you guys our picks of the series. It's already been determined. I'm gonna go ahead and kick this thing off. Why not stay with the number 1 seed, who LaParis just alluded to, was really in a dogfight with the number 8 seed in Chicago. Let's go Boston, Washington. Never before have I had such a small amount of confidence in the number 1 seed. I'm looking at Boston, and even though they recovered and they did what they were supposed to do in round 1 against Chicago, I don't know if they ready for John Wall. I don't. Now, don't get me wrong. Washington battled and they fought their way past Atlanta, and Atlanta looked like they really could have gotten it done. Paul Millsap definitely took his game to the next level. We saw some really good games from Schroeder. This series right here is probably going to be the toughest one that I got in the East on this side. I mean, in the second round. And I don't know. I didn't see enough from Boston for them to get my stamp of approval in round 2. I think I'm going to take Washington in this series, bro. Who you got?
I'm taking Washington as well, Spade, for all the reasons you said. 1, Millsap 8 against Washington. I don't think the Hawks have anybody in a big position, whether you want to say Horford, whether you want to say Jerebko,
Boston.
Amir Johnson. They don't have nobody over there that can eat like Paul Millsap. Millsap 8. As far as Schroeder, we know Isaiah can eat like Schroeder. We know that boy can get buckets. We already know. But I'm gonna tell you what, Spade. John Wall has took his play to another level.
And Bill showed up too.
Bill showed up too, and you know what? It got you asking. I'm not saying they are, but it got you asking. A couple years back, John Wall and Bill, they was like, man, we the best backcourt in the league, Spade.
Whoa. Let's not.
Spade, I'm not saying they are. I'm saying you can ask that question.
No, you can't. Let's not. Got to put together more than one good run before you get your name tossed around in that category.
Well, that's true. That's true. But I'm Spade. They are putting together. Look, John Wall and Bradley Beal, them boys, they done took their game to another level. Especially like John Wall been eating all year. But John Wall in that first round was playing out of his mind. They got people saying John Wall is the best PG in the league. That's what they got him saying.
They said
people are saying that.
They said in the East.
Okay, in the East. They saying John Wall is the best PG in the East. I don't know, Spade. I got the Washington Wizards. I think Washington in 6. It could go 7, but I want to say Washington in 6. The Boston Celtics just fought with the Chicago Bulls. I was on Twitter. Let me tell you something. I hate Celtics fans. I don't even hate the Celtics.
Whoa. We don't hate on this show. We love everybody.
Spade, I hate Celtics fans. You want to know why? Because Boston fans was in my mentions like we ain't the AFC, and they're going to say, why Chicago fans say, you guys were fighting with the AFC. You were. That's a fact. We're an AFC. Listen, Spade. The way Washington was fighting, the way the Celtics had a problem with Rondo, Spade, I think we both agree. Wall is a way better PG than Rondo. And if Rondo was giving them that much of an issue, I think they got their hands full. I think they got their hands full with John Dan Wall.
Well, that's true, but I gotta say this before we move forward. Even though there at the end they didn't have enough to get it done, you still had a very, very, very savvy veteran in Dwayne Wade. Washington don't have that guy on their roster, and also you got Jimmy Butler, who as a wingman could create. I don't know if you get that. Who gonna give you that in Washington? Oubre? Otto Porter? Who gonna really give you what Jimmy was giving you? So it wasn't just you can't look at the success Chicago was having and give it all to Rondo. Rondo definitely was the game changer, but it was the way he got the ball to the scorers. And John Wall does a lot of the scoring for himself. He can also facilitate. I'm not saying he can't facilitate, but I think it's the way the pieces Chicago had worked together gave Boston problems. And I don't know if Washington's pieces give them that trouble. Ultimately, I think they have enough to get it done, but I just don't know if the pieces is going to equal the matchup issues that Chicago's pieces equal.
One more key factor in this series that I think going to be, not an issue, but it's going to be a major factor, is definitely rebounding. I think whoever wins rebounding wins this series, and I got my money on Washington. I think they got their hands full with the damn Wizards.
And you saying 6 or 7?
6. I think 6. I think Washington is 6. I can see this series definitely going 7 though, but I had Washington in 6.
Well, I'm gonna go ahead and throw my bold prediction out there. I got Washington 5.
Oh,
I got Washington 5.
Oh, Spade, you think Celtics fans was in my mentions? Woo!
Hey man, I have a duty.
Woo!
I have a duty to report the truth.
Okay.
You know what I'm
Spade,
saying?
you want me to take the next series,
Yeah,
or you want to take them all?
Nah, you go ahead. We go back and forth.
Okay,
Like
that's
kid
cool.
play.
Next series, we have the Cleveland Cavaliers versus the Toronto Raptors. Spade, I
hated it. We ain't gotta talk.
I don't know.
We ain't gotta talk.
You don't want to talk. I got Cleveland. Simple. I got Cleveland. This
who got Toronto? That's the question. Who taking Toronto?
I think the 6 got Toronto.
Who?
The 6.
They over there listening to Drake CD. They ain't watching.
Hey, Spade.
They ain't watching.
I got Cleveland in 5, Spade. What you got?
I got Cleveland with the sweep. I got Cleveland with the broom.
Ooh,
I got Cleveland with the broom, bro. Where Kyle Lowry? We still ain't seen Kyle Lowry. Where is he?
I don't know, Spade. Some of them, I don't know. Like Mike Lowry greater than Kyle Lowry. I said,
yeah,
Lowry
DeRozan can't do it all by himself. Not against the Cavs.
Lowry season salt is greater than Kyle Lowry. And Kyle Lowry talking about he won a match. But Spade, I got Toronto winning one game because the Cavs come out on that BS once. They come out on that BS. I got Cleveland coming out there on that BS. Huh?
I need to say this. I got Cleveland in an ugly sweep. I'm talking just like it was against the Pacers, where every game you was thinking the Pacers might just ain't have enough. It's gonna be just like that. Like, DeRozan, just not quite enough. Like, it ain't gonna be like that dominant performance where they just kick their ass 4 straight games. They're just gonna have enough to get by. They just gonna give just enough on the accelerator to get to the finish line before you. That's about all. Let's go over to the Western Conference.
Hold on, Spade. Before we move on, I want to say, what's funny about Cleveland? I think, Cleveland know they can beat everybody in the East. They might really have this junk in neutral. They really might have it in neutral.
You know what it's about?
Go ahead.
It's about whether or not they want to spend time with their wives or they side chicks. If they really prefer to spend time with their side chicks, they'll take an L here and there, stretch it out so they can be on the road, get some of that on the road booty. But if they really trying to kick it with their wives, they're going to get this over in 4. It's up to y'all, Cleveland. Let me know. It's up to y'all.
Hey, you could be right. It might be one of them ugly sweeps. Might be one of them ugly sweeps.
Ugly broom. Yep. You ready for me to talk about the West?
Yeah. Let's go. Oh Lord, we got to start with. Do we got to start there?
It's that time. It's that time.
Oh
yeah.
my gosh.
Let's talk Spurs Houston. Now, this is gonna be tough for me. This one right here is tough for me. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm the president of the James Harden fan club.
You
I have obligations.
You are. James Harden, holla at him. Give him a pair of them Adidas, them shoe
James,
boots.
when I'm gonna get my check, James? That's what I want to damn know.
Give him a pair of them shoe boots.
When a check's cut. But you know what? I got this one right here. Been an ugly 7-game series, and I got the Spurs taking it. And I'm gonna tell you why. Not because of what you guys think. Not because Kawhi's the best player in the league. I don't know where this whole Kawhi's the best player in the league shit come from. But I wish y'all would take it back in your back pocket.
He's definitely one of the best players in the league, baby.
I didn't say one of. I said the.
Like, yeah, I know. He's definitely one of the best.
Oh, of course. The reason why I got the Spurs winning this is because I don't like playoff James Harden. Playoff James Harden.
Can I get a timeout? Give me a 20-second timeout, Coach.
What?
Coach, give me a 20-second timeout. Is KSpadeTheProspect about to bang the cannon on James Harden?
Bro, we watch these games together, basically.
Spade, I need a yes or no. Before you continue, Spade, I need a yes or no. Is KSpadeTheProspect going to bang the cannon on James Harden?
I have a duty to report the truth. I take this serious, bro. Okay?
Let me sit back.
I do not like playoff James Harden. And I told the pairs, this reminds me of, y'all know, and I know it's hard to tell at times, but y'all know I'm a Heat fan. When we had Bron, and Bron would have them passive games where he just wouldn't do what the whole world knew he could do, it used to infuriate me. I would watch my TV and say, shoot the ball, LeBron. What are you doing? That is a center on you. Go around him. That is a point guard. Post him up. I get tired of yelling stuff like that to the TV. I do the same shit with James Harden in the playoffs. Stop driving to the basket, beating your guy, and getting all the way to the cup and whipping that shit over your head trying to get a dime. Score the ball. What are you doing? Nobody can get to the charity stripe as well as James Harden. Do we like it? We don't necessarily like that. You go to the basket and throw your head back to get the whistle, or as soon as somebody touch you, you wrap your arm around theirs and shoot the ball. We don't like it. But I'll be the first to defend James Harden on this. If the league ain't going to stop it, if I'm a team owner or a coach or a GM, as much as I hate seeing that, if the league ain't going to stop it, give me somebody who's better at getting that call than anybody in the league.
Agree with that.
And that person is James Harden. Get your mind right. Like, I don't like postseason James Harden. Get right, bro. Like, I told the Paris, I said in round one, that whole Houston Rocket series over there, the hands down best player on the court was Russell Westbrook. Sadly, after games 1 and 2, the second best player on the court was Lou Williams. It wasn't James Harden. I want James to get his mind right. James, I know you watching because we homies. Get your damn mind right, bro. If James show up, if regular season James show up, I like Houston in 6. I like him in 6 against the Spurs because the Spurs ain't what everybody think they are. They Kawhi and a bunch of washed up has-beens. That's what that team is.
Ooh.
That's what that team is.
Get him,
James
San Antonio.
show up with that bullshit that he brought to that OKC series, it's going to be a 7-game Spurs win. And you heard it here first. Let me get some water. I'm parched.
That's crazy. Because I was gonna go Spurs in 7, Spade. And I think we, Spade, like you said, we talk. And I got a problem not just with James Harden. Everybody do it. KD do it. Westbrook do it. Westbrook do the foul when he'll sprint down the court and then step in front of you, then put the brakes on, and then you run all up his back. That's a foul.
Yep.
I got a problem with that foul. I got a problem with the James Harden swing your arm, lock your arm in his elbow socket, like where your elbow bend. He'll lock your arm in there and then shoot the ball, and it's a foul. I got a problem with all those type of fouls. But if the league ain't going to change the rule and still call those fouls, then like you said, I want a player that's going to get those fouls.
I want the player who the best at it. If you ain't going to change the rule, I'm going to exploit the shit out of it. I'm going to make you hate it.
But as far as James, I don't know why James Harden come out passive the way he do, especially in the first quarter. He be wanting to get that triple-double, want to get them dimes out the way.
He looks scared. I don't know what it is. Game 1 against OKC. I'm going to shut up after this. Game 1 against OKC, that's the James Harden I want to see. They was like, what got into James Harden? He got 20 shot attempts at the half. At the half. He went out there on some, I'm sick of everybody saying this guy should be the MVP. He about to get that work. And it's like, after he had that good game, he was content. The rest of the series, he was like, hey, you know, if I score, cool. If not, you know, Lou got me. I don't like that James. Don't bring that James into this Spurs series. I'll be quiet.
And it's definitely gonna be a tough series. I don't know if Kawhi is gonna defend Harden. Maybe they'll put Danny Green on him, because I mean, what else is Danny Green doing? But I mean, you look at the Spurs roster.
I'm not that representing for light skinned brothers.
You look at the Spurs roster. I mean,
washed up has-beens.
LaMarcus Aldridge. I mean, he was last series versus the Grizz. I'm looking like LA. Give Kawhi some help.
Yeah, man.
They give him some help.
Yep.
I mean, you know what? The second best player on the Spurs was Tony Dan Parker, and he
had to scroll the box score to find LaMarcus. Where's LaMarcus?
You ain't lying.
Scroll. Yeah, man.
And the crazy thing, Spade, this could be one of those games. This could be one of those series where the way the Rockets play, it could take LA out the game even more. You want to know why? Because the Spurs like to run. I mean, the Rockets they basically run 5 out. Like Ryan Anderson is around the perimeter. So if he's around the perimeter, and LA got to go out there and defend him, I mean, maybe they'll put him on Capella and put.
On that pick and roll, though, that's going to get him in foul.
Yeah, I don't know. Because
all Capella going to do is set the screen and roll to the basket. That's it.
It really could go either way, especially if LA want to be one of those guys that just shoot middies instead of getting down there and banging. LA used to have one of the meanest post games. I mean, LA would get in the post, body you down, hit a nice little fadeaway. Yep. I just don't know what's up with LaMarcus Aldridge. I need more from LaMarcus Aldridge. Kawhi, we know what we're going to get from Kawhi. And we know what we're going to get from Pop. Tony Parker, you know, he's not the same player. But if you're going to get anything, I agree, Spade. But if you know what you're going to get from Tony Parker and Ginobili, you're going to get Hart. Those guys are going to give it all to you, man. So
absolutely. I agree.
On paper, the Rockets should win this series. They should win this series.
It's going to depend on James, man. If we get regular season James, I like Houston. I like him in 6. I
mean, it's Spade, I want to just say this and then we can move on. Even if James have a bad game, like we said on previous episodes, Lou Williams can win you games.
Yep.
EG can have that type of game where he can win you games. I don't know what they get from Trevor Ariza.
I hate Trevor.
I don't know what they get from Trevor Ariza because he playing 30-something minutes a game and he's not giving them nothing. So I don't know. I have the Spurs in 7 though. I mean, the Rockets should win this series though. They should.
I just don't think. Boy with the beard, man. James,
hit me up, bro. You got my number. James Harden, send him some shoe boots. Send me
some of them dip the toe in white paint kicks. Send me some of them guys. I like them guys. I rock them.
All right, Spade. Let's move on to the Golden State series.
Yes.
I know y'all like moving on to the Golden State series. They don't have who they playing. Spade.
Because it don't matter.
They can either play the Jazz or the Clippers. Golden State versus what you want to call them, Spade?
You know what? They really could take the best players from the Jazz and the best players from the Clippers, make them a starting 5, and they still would get that work from Golden State. So it don't matter.
You ain't lying.
It don't matter.
You ain't lying.
Golden State advance.
You said the Cavs sweep. Do Golden State sweep?
Absolutely. Either one of those teams.
Wow. So no matter who they play, they sweep.
Let me say this. If they played the Clippers with a healthy Blake, I like the Clippers to win a game or 2. Just because Chris Paul just got the fight of a lion in him. But I don't think Chris Paul, without a healthy Blake, I don't think he got enough. For some odd reason, this postseason, we have seen a sign of J.J. Redick that I just don't really like. J.J. been kind of trashed the entire postseason
he had one good game.
Yeah, man. Jamal Crawford's been kind of hit or miss. When he's on, he's been looking pretty good.
He had one good game.
Yeah, man. It's so Chris Paul out there fighting for his life by himself right now. And if they had Blake, I'd give him a game, but I don't think either of these teams are at 100%. It looked like Gobert kind of re-injured his leg. I don't think clearly he's good, but it was a point where he seemed to not be back at 100% with his leg. Neither one of these teams are at 100%. At 100%, they could probably put a chink in the armor of Golden State, still not a threat to win the series.
I don't see neither one of these teams being a threat either. I think Golden State moves on no matter who they play. I think Chris Paul can will his team to one game? Maybe.
Sure, dog.
Maybe.
Right.
But I think Golden State definitely moves on. Neither one of these teams. I would, you know what? I would love to see the Jazz with a healthy Gobert go against these guys, because that's the area where you want to hit the Warriors, you know, the paint, the middle, and I think Gobert could put up one of those. You know, he can put up one of those 20-20 games and have like 5-6 blocks. But neither one of these teams are good enough to beat the Warriors. I mean, KD said he good to go. I think KD was good to go last series, but the team said, relax, we don't need you. So you add KD back in the mix for a full series, and Golden State moves on. They move on.
They're too powerful.
They move on.
They're
too powerful. They move on. I don't think anybody can score with them. I would say the Rockets could score with Golden State, but you don't know what James Harden you're going to get. So
and the Rockets, because they are such a shooting team, the same rule applies. Live by the three, die by the three. When the Rocket shots are falling, they look like they can compete with anybody. But we've seen those days. Don't get me started on Trevor Ariza. Trevor Ariza, I need a stat. I need somebody to get me the numbers on how many uncontested threes Trevor Ariza missed. Trevor Ariza missed so many wide open threes, it drive me crazy.
Yeah, man, he do.
It drive me crazy. It's just going to depend on
wide
whether
open. So I'd be like Ariza, and they'd just be like clank.
Plus,
my goodness.
While I'm spitting the gospel, while I'm up here, you know, fulfilling my duties to give you guys the truth, as much as I love James Harden, I told LaParis this last year, James Harden got a mental issue with Golden State. Like, he has the yips against Golden State. He mentally is afraid of Golden State. Anytime they play Golden State, that's when you see James Harden with his 9, 10, 11 turnover games. Like, he cannot get right against Golden State. I think it's that team that, I'm going to tell you something. As an athlete, confidence, we say this to you guys all the time, and I believe y'all take us for granted when we say it. Confidence is so major. I think it's neck and neck with skill. It might even edge it out. And I don't know if I'm right in that, but it might even edge it out. Like, you can kind of be trash, but if you really believe that you good, it can almost will you to not being ass trash. But jokes aside, I don't think James Harden believes that they can beat Golden State. And I mean, it don't matter what you got around you. If you honestly don't believe you can win, you kind of play, you know, you kind of lost from the tip off. James Harden, some of his worst games since he's been in the league been against the Golden State Warriors. And I told LaParis, James Harden never plays well against Golden State. Like, Golden State got James Harden number.
I mean, some of the notable great players that we respect, Spade, like Lawrence Taylor, Jim Brown, Emmitt Smith, Warren Moon. They say the game is 60% mental, 40% physical. That's what they say. You gotta believe.
I didn't even know that.
You gotta believe. If you don't believe, then you might well don't even show up. Don't show up.
Right.
Don't
I ain't
show
talking
up.
about fake belief. I'm talking about that. You gotta, like, you can sit there and say you believe, but if it ain't in here and it ain't in here, it ain't gonna come to fruition.
That's right. That's right.
Who wants this next one, bro? You want this one?
Oh yeah. I want to, because I want to direct this directly at you.
Nah, don't at me, bro. Don't at me.
I know. I'm atting you. At KSpadeTheProspect. This is for you. So your boy, is back in the news again.
Okay.
I know y'all like, who? What did James Harden do now? Which one of these thoughts he messing with? Nah. It ain't James Harden. You know, KSpade, he a Newt Hawk fan, so which one the white baby mama's putting him on more child support? No. It ain't that, Spade. It's your boy,
I got very
LaVar
expensive
Ball.
equipment in front of me, and you need to warn me, because I almost spat water on my expensive equipment. I need you to not do that. Go ahead.
Hey, Spade. Your boy LaVar Ball is back in the news. If you didn't know, LaVar Ball may have cost, probably did, may have cost his son a shoe deal with all the notable companies, Nike, Adidas, Under Armour. Look like all of them out. All of them out. And you guys may see, damn, what did LaVar do? LaVar's trying to get his imprint, BBB, Big Bowler brand, imprinted with the shoe company. He's trying to get a distribution deal for his brand along with his son's shoe deal.
Yep.
That's one. Not only that, Spade, not only that, Lonzo also came out and said that he will not attend the NBA draft combine. Spade, I wanted you were, I don't know if you still I don't know if you still are.
Family.
You were a LaVar Ball fan. You like what he was saying about his son.
Family.
You like the confidence that he had in his son.
Yes.
How do you feel about him costing his son a shoe deal, Spade?
I am all in on the Ball family. Now let me explain. LeVar is in the wrong, but I like the way he's thinking. He just need to. LeVar, hit me up. You probably don't have my number, but hit up James. James got my number. James, do not give this man my number. But anyway, here we go. I got a quote from Lavar Ball right here. We've said from the beginning we aren't looking for an endorsement deal. We are looking for co-branding, a true partner. But they're not ready for that because they're not used to that model. But hey, the taxi industry wasn't ready for Uber either. Just imagine how rich Tiger Woods, Kobe Bryant, Serena Williams, Michael Jordan, and LeBron James would be if they had dared to do their own thing, LeVar said. No one owned their own brand before they turned pro. We do. And I have 3 sons, so it's that much more valuable. Now, I think LeVar is on to something. I think he's on to something. But I think his approach is wrong. LeVar, here's what you got to do, bro. You right, you are trying to do something that's never been done before. So what you do is, because you know you bringing something new, people are afraid of new stuff, especially people with money. When they putting their money in this new stuff, ain't nobody trying to take no $1 million chances. So this is what you do. You meet them halfway. You take LeVar to their office. You take Lonzo to their offices and you say, look, this is what we're going to do. You give Lonzo a short deal. Don't come in here with that 10-year bull that y'all like to do. No lifetime deals. We want to do a short deal. 2 or 3 years. Let's put some stipulations in there. If Lonzo deliver this, if Lonzo deliver that, we meet in 2 or 3 years and we talk about co-branding. That's the deal. You can't just come to the table with this stuff that ain't nobody ever done before. Like, they are going to be hesitant. They are going to be cautious. You're going to have your son out there in Voight's or Spalding's. You want your son out there. Because, look, at the same time, you want co-branding, but it's got to be co-branded with somebody who's a legitimate partner. If you co-brand with Spalding, what you really got? Nothing. So you got to give to get. I would walk Lonzo in there and I would tell them, we're interested in talking with you guys about an endorsement deal, but we want a short-term deal. If Lonzo does this, if the shoe deal does this, if we reach this amount of sales, if we do this, if we do that, let's meet in 2 or 3 years and renegotiate. Then in 2 or 3 years, if they want to renegotiate and you still not at a good place, bounce. Because the little bit of success that Lonzo would have had, now maybe Adidas listening. Now maybe you got Under Armour. I don't know if you even want them. I don't know if you want them because word on the streets is, Steph shit just sitting on the shelf, y'all. It's sitting on the shelf. How many of y'all got Steph new boot? I'll wait. But I like that he wants to do the co-branding. I like it. But you can't strong arm. You ain't on the show. You can't strong arm your way in. You got to give a little bit in order to get a little bit. What do you think, LePaz? That's pretty genius, right? Come on. You like my philosophy. It was good. LeVar, hire me, bro. But I want my money up front.
This can either go one or 2 ways. It could really hinder his son for good, or it can be genius. Now, one way I'm gonna tell you the genius. But I agree with you. It's genius. First of all, you got to have a good product. This is business 101. You have to have a good product. You have to have the product that people want. And people.
Well, he thinks Lonzo's the product.
No, the product that he's trying to push is Big Baller brand. We already know Lonzo going to ball. Lonzo going to ball, whether he busts, whether he going to the league. He going to the league. But the Big Baller brand, I think it's whack. The name is whack. Whether he got a distribution deal or not, I don't see people rocking that because I think it's whack. And then that could just be me. Maybe them people out in California, Chino Hills, maybe they all in on BBB. even the acronym, even that's whack. The BBB, I think that's whack. And matter of fact, no, ain't it like Billionaire Boys Club? Ain't that like a line or something?
Yeah,
but like Pharrell or somebody did something like anyway. You got the product that you're trying to imprint, the Big Baller brand. I think is lame. And if you think these companies ain't in them big boardrooms saying, so what do we think about Big Baller brand? We want to sign Lonzo. He about to be a top pick in the draft. You think they don't want Lonzo? That's going to be revenue coming in for the shoe deal, the sneaker deal, whatever. It's going to be revenue. You think they don't want that kid? But they in there like, okay, we got to deal with his pops. His pops want Big Baller brand to be the imprint. How do we feel about that? And you don't think them people in there like, yo, that junk kind of lame? It's lame.
You talking about the name?
The name, the acronym, I think is whack. And I think them companies see like, yo, they in there talking and advertising and marketing. They be like, yo, how can we advertise this? How can we market this? And I think they think it's lame. And LaVar just being steadfast and now it can go one or two ways. Like I said, LaVar can go out there and ball, and it ain't gonna, it's gonna get these companies. They're gonna be like, yo, we gotta get him. It could be that Diddy effect. Diddy used to be an intern, A&R at one company, and Diddy didn't like something. Diddy was like, you know what? I'm gonna start my own damn label. I don't need this label. And Diddy went out there and found one of the up and coming new dudes, big, and turned it into Bad Boy. And regardless how you feel about Bad Boy, Diddy is a mogul. He's a mogul, regardless how you feel. So it can go that way. It can go that way. But I think LaVar took the wrong approach. This is definitely the wrong approach. Spade. We see a lot of guys. And I'm going to compare this to music, and then I'm going to be quiet. We see a lot of guys got a lot of talent, and it's rare. It's rare that you see a guy like a Chance the Rapper or a Master P. A lot of guys that don't be those independent guys that just turn into those, they turn into it. It's rare. But when you sign those distribution deals, some of the times you got to give up a little something. You got to give up 40% distribution. Publishing. They want your publishing or something. You got to give up something. And maybe that something may be LaVar. We wouldn't mind giving your kid a brand, but we don't want it to be that name. Figure something else out. I think they think that name is whack. I was on Twitter when this news was released, Spade reading the comments, and everybody was like, I don't want to say everybody. A lot of people was like, the name is whack anyway. Ain't nobody rocking that. So if that's the consensus, you think these other companies, we look at numerous companies, Spade, they got people just on Twitter that just search the feed. That's their job. It's to search the feed about what people are saying about whatever is the news. And these companies have that. So they're like, man, look at this feed. Everybody's saying this name is whack. We cannot bring this crap in our company. LaVar got to realize that.
I was trying to find some numbers while you was talking. I read a story years ago, and I didn't retain the exact numbers. I think I found a piece of it here. I didn't get a chance to get a full read. This is what LaVar is possibly trying to get away from. Now, I'm not saying these numbers are bad. I just want to give you food for thought. I found this article. This article is from 2014. It's talking about 2014 sales, right? Mm-hmm. In 2014, Michael Jordan earned $100 million from Nike and other partners. $100 million. Jordan didn't play in 2014. You listen at that and you go, wow, Jordan getting it. I scroll down a little bit. In 2014, Jordan brand made $2.6 billion in sales. $2.6 billion. He made $100 million. I ain't saying $100 million is bad money, but $100 million is a very small percentage of $2.6 billion. That's a lot of dollars that's going in other people's pockets. And nobody would know this. Like, we think, man, these Jordans sold out. Jordan over there getting rich. But the reality is Jordan is kind of getting a small piece. I'm not saying, make sure y'all hear me. Jordan is straight. He's straighter than Indian hair. That man is good over there. But if I told you that my company made $2.6 billion, you would not think I walked away with $100 million. You wouldn't think so. And I'm not saying that's what he left with. I ain't talking taxes and all that. I'm saying that is what his profit was. He earned $100 million in that year, and Jordan Brand sold $2.6 billion. That's crazy. That's crazy. So LaVar want to get a bigger piece of the puzzle. I get it. His approach is all wrong, though. LaVar, you are a lot of things, my guy, but business is kind of not your strong suit. You know what I'm saying? Probably need to hit us up.
I just don't think this is the move. These companies pay a lot of money to a lot of smart people. And I'm not saying they always right, because these companies, they not always right. Like I said, if Lonzo go out there and be all world, he's gonna force these companies to come back and eat crow and be like, you know what? We're gonna have to force it. We're gonna have to sign this kid and give him the imprint he want. But
now let me ask you this, and that's a good point. I was gonna bring that up too. Okay, all these companies can be like, hey, we walking away from Lonzo, and it's got everybody buzzing like, see, people hit me up, Spade. I told you LaVar was ruining Lonzo's life. Let's not front. If Lonzo goes to the league and cook, I ain't even gonna say years. If he cooks his rookie season, I bet you every single one of these companies come back to the table. Every single one of them, because at the end of the day, they ain't got no values. They care about the dollar sign. if this kid ends up being a big deal, they will come back to the table. That opportunity will you know, it'll be there.
Now let me ask you: if they come back to the table, and be like, "Yo, we still want to sign your son, but we don't want that imprint," do you decline him again?
Well, I think LaVar might decline him again. At that point, what we wonder is whether or not Lonzo decides to distance himself from Big Baller Brand, which he technically could do right now. Now, he can't do it right now because he ain't in the league yet. He ain't got no money. He still live with Pops. But once he get in the league and he get money, he get his own stuff, it is a possibility that he could say, hey, yo, Pops, I'm out. What LaVar going to do? What he going to do?
Spade, let me ask you, you wearing Big Baller Brand, you think that imprint is dope? I mean, from what you've seen. And I don't know.
I mean, because right now they ain't got no designers. It's all basic stuff. It's just shirts with
that's what I was about to say. I don't know if he hired like a team of designers,
like somebody can make it fly.
Stuff.
Yeah, somebody can make it fly. I'm not gonna front. Like when I heard the first time I heard of Lee Ning, I think Baron Davis was rocking them, and I was like, that's trash. I would never rock that. I now own 2 pair of Dwayne Wade Lee Ning shoes, and I like them. I like them. So I mean, yeah, sometimes you got to get in there and you got to make it fly. Right now, it's not fly. I haven't seen anything other than T-shirts with 3 B's on it. Like this is essentially something that we could make at home. They got iron-on shit. You could print this on your computer and iron it on a T-shirt. Like right now, it's not fly. It's not fly, and that's why he needs these companies to make it fly.
Sweatshirts, they got a lot, Spade.
Yeah, it's not fly. A lot of it. It's not fly. It's not fly.
I mean, I don't know, man.
Let me talk about the combine thing right quick.
Before you go this, man, I just want to say this. I hope before LaVar Ball just came out there and say, this is what we want. I hope he's talking to his son and asking his son, what do you want?
I don't think he is. I'm all in on LaVar Ball, and LaVar Ball at this point think he got everything under control. I'm not saying, when I say I'm all in on LaVar, that don't mean I agree with everything he's doing. It mean, golly, if you're going to be wrong, man, be all the way wrong. Like, be 100% committed. He's all in. He is wrong on this deal right here, and it could possibly cost him a relationship with his son. It really could cost him a relationship with his son. I'm not saying, like, their son don't want anything to do with him, but I'm saying a business relationship. It could possibly cost him. Let's talk this combine thing right quick, and then we can move on to some fun stuff. But
okay,
I don't think Lonzo needs to attend the draft combine. For what? To me, I don't think he can do anything at this combine that can help his stock. I don't think he could do anything but hurt his stock. Right now, people hate his father. They looking for a reason to nitpick. They want to break him down. They want to break his family down. They want to break down Big Baller Brand. They want to break down the way LaVar walks when he walk in looking like George Jefferson. Absolutely no reason to place yourself under that microscope. You showed the world what you could do as a freshman. You went to the dance. You went far in the dance, and you went down to a team that was favored to win. You didn't play well in one game. In the one game you didn't play well in, you cost your team. To me, that looks like value. It looked like if I have a bad game, my team don't win. My team needs me to have a good game. Nobody has a good game night in and night out, not even pros. I don't feel like he can help his draft stock by going to the combine. I don't.
I don't think it's a big deal. I mean, I've seen people like saying, "Oh my gosh, I can't." I don't think it's a big deal.
They want him to go so they can put him under that microscope, bro. That's why they want him to go.
But I don't think it's a big deal. I mean, it's been notable. It's been notable. And I compare a lot of things to the NFL because that's my sport. But it's been notable scouts that's like, you know what, guys that going to be in the top of the draft, yeah, they would like you to go to the combine, but it's no need for those guys to go to the combine. Those guys don't need it. And like but you already know what you're getting from this kid. You've seen it enough. I don't think you got to go to the combine and be broke down and
Yeah, he a lottery
I don't think
pick.
you need that. It's the
you
same
wanna
thing
go
with
there
some
and
of these
have
guys
them say,
in the
"Oh, he
NFL.
slid on my
Some of these
draft board."
guys,
Yeah.
some of these guys from smaller schools and things like that, yeah, they need things like the
They
combine
need
so you can see their measurables. Other guys, they don't need it, and that's why some guys decide to skip the damn combine. Some guys don't even get invited. Let me just say this: some guys don't even get invited to the combine.
That's true.
And they play and they get in the league as an undrafted free agent or a late round pick, and them dudes ball and wasn't even invited to the combine. The combine is the meat market in both leagues, and it might be time to get rid of the combine. Like I said, I think maybe those guys from smaller schools or guys that's on the fence, you don't really know about, those guys need the combine. Guys like Lonzo Ball, they don't need it. They don't need it. So I don't think it's a big deal. I've seen people saying on Twitter, Spade, and other sports media outlets, I can't believe he would do it. I just don't. I don't think it's a big deal. I could be wrong though, but I don't think it's a big deal. You ready to move on?
I'm ready.
Spade, you know I want to talk NFL draft.
Yeah, it's
NFL
that time.
Draft.
It's
NFL
that time.
draft. Spade, I want to get our NFL draft on some things. Woo. Some things happened that we didn't see happening, Spade. I want to start with the Browns. Myles Garrett, they picked Myles Garrett. That's how it happened. And we kind of figured that. But Spade, at number 2, your Chicago Bears.
Whoa.
Your Chicago Bears traded up, I think, one spot to with the 49ers
Mitchell.
get Mitchell Trubisky, Spade. How do we feel about that?
Confused. This same team just broke bread to bring Mike Glennon over because they thought Mike Glennon was the future. Now, granted, we came on this very show and attacked them for doing this, but we didn't know that they was going to say, you know what, you guys are right. And we're just going to go out and just put all our chips in on drafting another unproven guy. We felt like Mike Glennon was unproven. We feel like Mitchell Trubisky's unproven. 13 starts, 8 wins as a starter. This is the guy you trade up to get. It really ain't no assets around him. Alshon gone. I don't know. And here's another thing that I heard somebody say. I don't remember who I heard say it, but I agree with them. If you Mike Glennon, you got to be pissed off. And not pissed off because you're now in this quarterback competition with Mitchell Trubisky. That's not why. You're pissed off because they brought you over. They basically told you was the man. You looking at your other soldiers that you're about to go to war with. You want the team to be better, and here they are giving up picks that could add another receiver to fill in for the missing Alshon Jeffrey, other places where the team is lacking, because there's a lot of areas that the Bears are lacking, and instead they use those assets to get you competition for your position. So what they're going to do is, I guarantee you Mitchell's not going to win this starting job this year, but Glennon's going to play and not look well because it's a bad team. And then they're going to judge him and say, Glennon didn't look good this year. Of course he don't. You use my assets instead of getting me help. You use my assets to get the guy to replace me. So you setting me up for failure. You're going to throw me on the field with this trash team. And then at the end of the year, you're going to say, I didn't get it done. And I don't think that's right. As much as I didn't feel like Mike Glennon was the guy for the job, I feel like he got hosed.
I agree 100%, Spade. I mean, Spade, first of all, you trade up a pick. You trade up a pick, so you give San Francisco more of your damn picks, more picks. So you got less picks in the draft. And I don't even know I don't remember what they traded, but I don't even know if they got picks in this draft and next draft. Or I don't know. But you gave up more picks. Like the Chicago Bears don't need picks. You trade up to number 2 to get a guy that you have that's really a project that Spade. You trade up to number 2 to draft a guy that you don't want to play this year to help your team this year at number 2? At number 2? That's insane. And this is why we say things like Chicago Bears going Bear. This is why we say things like that. That's dumb. That's dumb. The Bears have a ton of issues on defense. They lost their key wide receiver. I like the dude Meredith, but do we think he's a number 1 receiver? We don't know. But you can Spade, I just don't think this is a smart move by the Bears. Maybe they know something we don't. I said the same thing. I said the same thing about the Rams last year. They better be right with Goff. The Bears better be right with Trubisky because it looked like Glennon had one of those little friendly contracts that they could just be like, you know what, take your little guaranteed money and get the hell on. But they better be right with Trubisky because it can set your organization back 10 years. 10 years.
Yeah, man.
So they better be right. They better be right. Especially to trade up and give up more picks. That's dumb. That's dumb. I don't agree. Chicago fans, if you're a Chicago fan, and I mean pretty much Chicago was mad. Mitchell Trubisky went to some game and they booed his ass. I think he was at the Bulls game and they booed his ass. They booed him. So I don't know, man. Chicago, let me know. Talk to your boy. Bear fans
still didn't even take, like, in the entire draft, they still didn't take a receiver, like, at all.
Which is
didn't
just crazy,
take a receiver.
Spade. I don't know. I need Bear fans to talk to me, Spade. But something else happened in the draft, Spade. The Jets took Jamal Adams, safety out of LSU, which everybody think is going to be all world. And you know, Calvin Pryor sent out a tweet, Spade. Calvin Pryor was like, "Let's do work." And then the Jets went again in the later round and took another damn safety, Spade, which had Twitter going berserk saying, "Calvin Pryor, your ass out of there. What you mean? Let's do work." How do we feel about that, Spade?
I was shocked. I was shocked. The Jets, another team that has quite a few needs. Brandon Marshall is out of there. Probably, a lot of people felt like they probably would go QB, maybe. Yeah. I don't know if they feel like they got their QB of the future and for them to use their first 2 picks on safeties. That ain't even the biggest news flash. The biggest news flash is that former Jets can't spell Jets. My man went up there and said Jette, Jets.
Yeah, man.
Hey, what else can you say about this franchise?
Poor Tony Richardson, man. And Spade, we was watching the draft, and I said, man, Tony Richardson was a good-ass fullback. Like, he went to a few Pro Bowls. He was pretty damn good, man. And Tony Richardson went up there and forgot the damn S. Added an E where S go. How do you mess up Jets? Jaguars drafted Leonard Fournette. You know, Tom Coughlin is back over there running things. Not the head coach, but he back over there running things. When the Jaguars was good, they had Fred Taylor. Tom Coughlin was pretty much the man. You know, he was the head coach at that time. They got Leonard Fournette, a bruising back. It looked like Chris Ivory. They wasn't happy with him. They ended up getting Fournette. How do you feel about that, Spade? I actually like the pick. I like the pick.
I was going to say I like it. The only thing, look, let me say this. That team, and we've been saying this year after year after year, I'm kind of tired of saying it. When you look at that team on paper, they really building something. They really putting together a nice unit. They got a nice young defense. They got studs at receiver. I know they got rid of Julius. You know, they didn't bring Julius back, Julius Thomas at the tight end position. But the team seems to be getting better. It really looks like the only thing that's holding this team back from greatness is their quarterback in Blake Bortles. Yep. At some point, they're going to have to make a decision of whether or not this guy is what you want to continue to wait on him to blossom into what you hope he's going to be, or if you're going to accept the fact that maybe this is the Blake Bortles that he's going to be.
That's right. And I agree, man. The question mark is Blake Bortles. They got 2 stud wide receivers. That defense look like it's about to be a problem. Or the defense is going in the right direction. They got a couple of young pieces, and I think they're moving in the right direction. You got to ask, is Blake Bortles that guy? Let's cut bait now. Let's cut bait now with Blake Bortles and get somebody in there that can help this team at least start winning some games, because Blake Bortles is costing you games. Jacksonville, let's highlight the management. Let's make some moves. Spade. Want to move on? Want to talk about Panthers taking McCaffrey. Panthers took a few picks, and they one of them was Christian McCaffrey. How did you feel about McCaffrey going there?
Now I said this amongst some friends, and it wasn't necessarily received well. I like Christian McCaffrey. I like the fact that he is a really good receiver out of the backfield. However, I have questions about his durability. The Panthers, hey, I don't know. Maybe they're gonna show me that few changes they made on the O-line this year, maybe it's really gonna pay off for them. But they don't have the most. I'm not the most confident behind that O-line. You're going to bring in McCaffrey, who has had some injury issues. He's not the biggest guy in the world, and a lot of people don't feel like he's a run-through-the-tackles type of back. A lot of people don't feel like he's an every-down back. I like the kid. I think he's a great player. I think he's a great receiver out of the backfield. I just question his durability.
And Spade, you're not the only one that – I mean, the experts are saying that. That's why they're saying –
I am an expert.
You know what? They have Jonathan Stewart.
Expert. Hold up.
They have Jonathan Stewart to run, you know, they got Jonathan Stewart to run between the tackles. They said that Christian McCaffrey going to return some kicks. They might line. They said at Christian McCaffrey Pro Day and at the Combine, he did a lot of wide receiver drills. He didn't even do like running back drills. He did wide receiver drills to show the teams that he can, you know, he's one of the top pass catching backs out of the league, which out of college, excuse me. And
which ain't hard to believe if you know his dad.
Yeah. I think the Panthers believe that can help their team. But Spade, the Texans traded up traded up and they
Let's
took
talk it.
Deshaun Watson. A lot of people who had a problem. A lot of people had a problem with this. I love this pick for the Texans. I think Deshaun Watson is definitely better than anything the Texans have. And they got my man Savage from Rutgers by way of Pittsburgh. But I think Deshaun Watson definitely is an upgrade at the quarterback position.
I can't think of a better situation for Deshaun Watson to fall into. I really can't. I think this is great for Deshaun. I think it's great for the Texans. I don't understand. Like, I see a lot of people giving the Texans a bad grade, saying that they gave up too much for Deshaun. I still don't understand the Deshaun Watson hate. This kid has won at every single level. A state title in high school, ACC championship 2 years in a row, appearances in the national championship game 2 years in a row, and he took one home. He has won at every single level. I'm not saying he is mechanically sound in everything he do, but I feel like the guy is very coachable. I think this is a great pickup for Houston. And hey, man, I like they draft. Like, I'm looking over their draft right now. I like what they did. I don't understand why they took another running back, but I like they draft overall. I like it.
I'm rooting for Deshaun, man. I'm rooting for him. I hope Deshaun is everything I think he's going to be, and I think he's going to prove a lot of naysayers wrong. The same way,
I agree.
Not necessarily to the effect that Dak Prescott had. I just think it reminds me of that. You know, Dak Prescott was a 4th round pick. He's a 1st round pick, so I get that. But it's a lot of people that's banging the cannon on Deshaun Watson, which I don't understand. He was the best player on the field the last 2 years in the national championship game against a damn NFL caliber defense. And I think a lot of people off that Alabama defense got drafted in the league. Like, come on.
You know, let me say this right quick. The thing that drives me crazy is it's people that's like rooting for this dude to fail. Like, I'm seeing people on Twitter like, I can't wait to come back to this tweet next year and tell everybody I told you so not to touch Deshaun Watson. I don't know. I'm a different guy. I don't know Deshaun Watson personally, obviously, but
why they only giving him 1 year? Why he only get 1 year? To prove that he wasn't a bust.
He black. You know, black quarterbacks don't get that long. Don't play brand new because the camera's on. You know we ain't got long, bro. We ain't got long.
It was quarterbacks. It was quarterbacks being drafted yesterday in the late rounds and day 2 of the draft, where Mel Kiper was saying this dude will be a career backup. It was dudes being drafted that were being called career backups.
Yeah,
come on.
Yeah, I mean, I already know it.
I don't understand it.
Deshaun's story, I don't know how you cannot root for Deshaun from his story. You know, he had a rough upbringing. A lot of people don't know this, but Warrick Dunn had a program here in Atlanta where he would donate houses to families in need. Deshaun Watson's family was actually donated, you know, a house to them when he was young. His mother suffered some type of cancer of the tongue. I think she lost her tongue. And this kid just, no matter what life threw his way, he continued to overcome. The kid has won. And it just bothers me that people want to see this guy fail. I hope he tear the league up. I'm a Dolphin fan, and I hope, you know, the most success in the world for the Dolphins. But I want this kid right here to have success. I like this guy, and I want him to win. Sorry.
They went to the playoffs with Brock Osweiler, Savage, and another guy.
Savage is also, Bill O'Brien said Tom Savage is right now the starting quarterback, but he did not shy away from the fact that Deshaun Watson will have an opportunity to win that job, and win that job, I think he will do.
I got a few more teams I want to talk about. We don't got to take a lot of time on them. Right. Chargers took Mike Williams. How we feel about that?
Love it. Love it. It's perfect pick. Perfect pick.
I agree. You know, you got questions about Keenan Allen. Travis Benjamin looked like he was a beast. I think he ended up getting injured. They had a lot of injuries at the wide receiver position. Whenever you could upgrade like that and get Phillip Rivers, another weapon, I think that's a good thing. The Bengals, yeah, definitely. The Bengals took John Ross, the speedy receiver, and they also took Joe Mixon. Give me a quick thoughts on that.
I don't know much about Ross, but the grades that I've seen on him, I'm not sure that he's that polished receiver. I think they hoping that you can just take that speed and put it on the field, and he's going to be able to make plays, and hopefully he can for him. I didn't really understand the Joe Mixon pick. I know Gio probably had some injury issues. I thought Jeremy Hill was definitely doing a good job for these guys. I don't understand why they went after Mixon, but who knows? I don't get it.
I mean, people are saying arguably that Joe Mixon is one of the top backs in the draft, that he only fell because of that incident he had. And I don't want to just poo-poo that incident. It was a major incident. But I you know, sometimes sometimes you can't give up on talent. I mean, talent, you know, when you the Bengals, I guess they saying, you know what, give me that talent. We'll find a way to get him on the field. Spade, I want to talk about the Browns. The Browns made a lot of first-round picks. They took Miles. They took, hold on, I'm going through it. They took Miles. They took Jabril Peppers. They took Njoku. Spade, talk to me about the Browns.
I hate to say it. LaParis, off camera, I told LaParis, I said, man, I'm looking at Cleveland. I feel like they did some things, he said, Spade. Until it actually proves to be smart on the field, I won't give them a good grade. They do this every year. Every year they snatch out people and we say, wow, they did good in the draft. And it never translates to any wins on the field. Looking on the paper, I like what they did. I like Garrett. I like Peppers. I like Njoku. And I wouldn't be shocked if Kaiser mess around and win that damn job out there. They took Kaiser as an insurance policy at quarterback. He could end up winning it. I like what they did early on. They took a dude from go ahead.
I just want to say the typical Browns.
Yeah,
the Browns take guys, we be like, look at the Browns draft, and you be like, you know what, I can see the Browns headed, not necessarily making a playoff run, but you can see the Browns headed in the right direction. You think the Browns are headed in the right direction, and I look at this draft, and I say the same thing again. But you know what? I look at the Browns draft, they got high picks all the time, and I be like, you know what, I like that pick by the Browns, and they still end up drafting high again. They still end up having, and you know what? It's a new regime. Maybe Hugh Jackson and they GM, I forget the dude's name, but maybe they got some of that bad juju out of there. Maybe the Browns are heading in the right direction. But until I see it, I can't believe in the Browns, man. And it may be bad. I just can't believe in the Browns. We've seen this too many times. The Browns.
Wait. I'm gonna tell y'all something about LaParis. The show running a little long, and LaParis he talking extra fast. He want me to shut up so we can wrap this show up. But I got to speak on one other thing. In typical, the Browns just going to find a way to just be the Cleveland Browns. They did draft Caleb Brantley from the University of Florida. In the middle of this guy having some legal issues, he is currently facing what I believe is a misdemeanor assault charge where he allegedly punched the girl in the face and caused some dental issues with her. And then I guess after drafting this guy and getting the heat to kind of save face, they said that they're going to be watching the investigation and they may release him. They said, we took him, but we may release him. And of course, I don't really get that. But, hey, it's the Browns.
Browns going doo-doo brown. This is what I'm saying. Look at the Browns like, okay, I see them heading in the right direction. And in the same draft, when you say they head in the right direction, they do that. When you speak on what Cleveland drafted, Johnny Manziel, I mean, they signed Josh Gordon. The mayor got Josh Gordon in the supplemental draft. Had issues with those guys, and you go take another guy like that. Come on, man. A guy that you don't even know going to be on the field. Cleveland need guys that's going to be on the field. This is what I'm saying.
They technically approached each one of their draft needs, each one of their roster needs. Though they did address it in the draft.
Okay.
Just saying.
I got to throw in there that the Cowboys took Taco. I'm good with them taking Taco. We don't got to spend time on that space. But the 49ers, they did trade up to get Reuben Foster, a linebacker that I keep saying this, Spade. People is comparing this guy to Ray Lewis. I don't know if he's Ray Lewis.
No, don't say that.
Spade, this is what people saying. But they saying that they definitely done picked up a guy. A lot of people was calling him one of the best defensive players in this draft. He only fell because he had if I'm not mistaken, a diluted sample in the combine. But Spade, the 49ers ended up getting him. How do you feel about that?
Reuben Foster got a lot to prove. For one, you walking around with people comparing you to the great Ray Lewis, which I feel like is a stretch. You had the diluted sample. That's already a negative hit to your character or whatnot. That's an asterisk. But let's not forget, this is also the kid that was sent home from the combine for being a rude ass to the nurse about taking too long to get to him, where he asked the nurse, do you know who I am? Yeah, at this point, you're nobody. You're a kid that's waiting to be drafted. Just like everybody else in this room, you don't get no special treatment. So Reuben got a lot. He's got a lot to prove. Like the scope is on you, kid. You got to come in and get right.
The crazy thing is I didn't even know that story when you had told me a couple days ago, and I was like, what? I said, if I'd have been that nurse, it's some male nurses. That don't mean you.
Don't tell that story, bro. Everybody think you a good guy, and I don't want.
Hey, Spade, I said if I was that nurse, and that man had talked to me like that, I'd have been like, what's your name again? He'd have been like, you don't know who I am. I'd have been like, well, I'm the nurse that's about to put cocaine in your piss. That's the nurse I'm gonna be.
The reason why I didn't want you to say that, because I mean, the man did have a diluted sample. So I mean, don't get this lady fired. You know what I'm saying?
I'm just saying, Spade. We just talked about a Pittsburgh Steelers guy that didn't make people feel less than, less than. And then this guy talking about, you know who I am. Like, you're a nobody. You're the person that need me to do this test. Or come on, man. Like, just because you think you're a star athlete or anything like that, you should not be talking to people like that. She's a human being too, man. That's already. I don't like people like that, man. I don't like people like that.
You also have to speak on the fact that 49ers GM is first-time brand new GM John Lynch, ex-safety of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. This was his first draft, so a lot of people saying to be a new GM, they like the moves that he made. The Reuben Foster deal is either going to make you look like a genius or it's going to make you look like a dunce. You better have a talk with that kid right now.
Yeah, and I mean, I had the Solomon Thomas pick correct too. They didn't get him at 2. They bumped down to 3 and got him. But people were saying, why would they take another defensive lineman? They just went D-line, in all the previous draft. It's because none of them dudes are this guy. That's why they went D-line. They ain't that guy. But Spade, before we move on, any other notable things you want to talk about that I may have forgotten this draft?
For some odd reason, you didn't talk about the Dolphins.
I didn't talk about the Chiefs. Did I say about the Chiefs moving up? Chiefs moved up and got Patrick Mahomes?
Nah, you didn't.
I mean, they moved up to 10 to take Patrick Mahomes, Spade, to be a project, I guess, for Alex Smith, to back up Alex Smith. How do you feel about that?
He was the only FBS player with multiple seasons of 5,000 total yards of offense. But if you've ever seen Texas Tech play, all they do is sling the football. It's the same offense that produced Michael Crabtree. And I remember Graham Harrell, who was throwing the football to Crabtree. I thought Graham Harrell was going to be that guy. So, I mean, I'm not saying that Patrick Mahomes isn't good. They say he is fun to watch. I can't sit here and tell you I've actually seen this kid play. I just know this offense is all about slinging the football, man. All about it. It's funny, though, because the knock on Alex Smith is that he's got a weak arm. So if this guy is, they trying to make him ready to be Alex Smith's replacement, they probably finna use an entire different game plan because Alex ain't throwing the ball but 3 yards anyway.
Spade, the Dolphins took Charles Harris from Missouri, and I don't think you like that.
Whoa. Where's your energy when you get to the Dolphins? What was that? Try that again. Try that again.
I said the Dolphins took Charles Harris to the defense.
Nah, I got us. And the Dolphins took Charles Harris from the University of Missouri. Woo!
You didn't like the pick, though, bro.
I don't know nothing about that guy. I ain't gonna front. I don't know nothing about that guy. But I'm looking at our needs, and they say we addressed all of our needs except for safety.
Okay.
So, hey, we hit our needs. I can't be mad at that.
If we missed something in the draft, leave it in the comment section down below. You can tweet us. If you want to talk about something, like I said, we always talking sports on Twitter and everything. If you want to talk about something in the draft we missed, leave it in the comment section down below, man.
I got one more story.
Oh, Lord. Go ahead.
Okay. I'm just going to leave you with this tidbit right here. There was a quarterback. He was drafted last in the draft. That's Mr. Irrelevant. You look at his numbers on the field in college. The guy was a pretty good player. He had repeat off the field issues, injury issues. Apparently the kid got an attitude. He threatened the Clemson coaching staff that if he wasn't the starter, he would quit football and just start playing lacrosse. The dude has been a habitual line stepper, and you know what got him drafted by the Denver Broncos?
What got him drafted?
A call to his uncle. That's right. John Elway called Jim Kelly, the ex-Miami Hurricane great, and said, hey, I want to talk to you about Chad Kelly, your nephew. The dude get in trouble a lot, and he get injured and stuff. What you think about him? I don't know what the hell Jim was supposed to say. That's how it went. I was there. That's how it went. And Jim said, oh, he good. He good. John Elway said, bet. Say no more. Let me hurry up and get off the phone so I can take him. And that got him drafted. Wow. And people out there saying that Deshaun Watson shouldn't have been taken. Just saying. All right, we can move forward.
I mean, like his uncle going to be like, you know what? Excuse my language, SAS. But like his uncle going to be like, nah, don't take him. He a fuck up. He's stupid.
Yeah, he's
like,
a dickhead. Don't take him.
Yeah, ain't nobody, like, who uncle was going to say that and stop their nephew from getting drafted? Whether you
I got an uncle that might hate on me, though.
Nah, that uncle going to be like, you know what? I could have threw you under the bus. Cut that check.
Exactly. You right. How you
that's
know my
That's
uncle?
what your uncle going to say. You know my uncle? Nah, I don't know your uncle. I'm just saying. That's what most uncles going to say. I don't think no uncle would throw their nephew under the bus and stop them from getting drafted when they could be like, hey, I could have threw you under the bus. Cut that check.
You're right.
Let's move on.
Let's move on, man.
There's one more story I want to talk about.
Okay, go ahead.
You know the Bills fired their GM, Spade?
Bills gonna build.
Doug Watley. I think his name is Doug Watley. Spade,
Yep.
they done. How you fire your GM after the draft?
Make them do all that overtime right here leading up to the draft.
Spade, give me your thoughts on the Bills firing their damn GM the day after the draft. The draft just ended, and they fired him. They fired him.
You know, we laughing about it, but it's really kind of messed up the way they did it. You guys know that they fired the Ryans last season. They let Rex and Rob go. That would have been the ideal time to go ahead and just change the culture,
Clean house.
get a new GM. They kept the GM. They said that a GM usually has his own scouts. So you got these scouts. They don't work their ass off to prepare for the draft. And I think the Bills had a decent draft. And then after that, you fire him. So you got the scouts wondering what happens to them. The new guy that come in probably going to have his own scouts. I don't know, man. It looks like the owners of the Buffalo Bills, who are also the owner of a hockey team, if I'm not mistaken, and I think they are currently
Buffalo Sabres.
Yeah, I think they're currently looking for a GM for the Sabres too. It really looked like, and I'm just keeping it a bean. It looked like some guys with money who just buying a team who really don't know what they're doing. And if you're a fan of the Buffalo teams, I'm kind of sorry for you. I don't know how things gonna work out for y'all. This was definitely not the correct way to handle a GM firing, because GMs work their ass off leading up to the draft, y'all.
The Bills' cap is all jacked up, Spade. I think they might have fired that guy for those reasons. I mean, they may not even have enough money to sign all their rookies, and they signed 2 fullbacks. If you don't fire a guy after signing 2 fullbacks, and then you let them draft your team, I don't know what the hell they doing over there in Buffalo.
So you saying he deserved it?
I'm not saying I don't want nobody to be fired, Spade, but I'm just saying the guy they already had cap issues. You go sign 2 fullbacks. You let that Gillespie, Gillisley, I think his name is, get like he signed the offer sheet with the Patriots. He's now a Patriot. He was the backup to Shady McCoy, who we know be a little like Shady had a good year, but he's a little injury prone. Gillisley filled in very well. They didn't match Gillisley. They signed 2 fullbacks. I don't know what they're doing up there in Buffalo, Spade. I don't want anybody to be fired and lose no money, lose no job. They got family to be taken care of. They got to take care of their family. But good God, how do you man? They got cap issues, and then you go sign 2 fullbacks. I don't understand what we're doing in Buffalo. But Spade, we can move on.
All right. Last segment of the show. I know the show ran a little bit long, man. We had a lot to talk about. I felt like we gave you guys some good information, and y'all ain't doing that anyway. You might as well, even if you can't finish it in one sitting, it ain't going nowhere. Listen to the rest the next day. The last segment of the show, man, we call this segment the Strong Arm Performer of the Week. This is where we give a very prestigious award, Diamond Encrusted Award, to a male or female who raised his or her level of play to ensure that their team got the victory. The Paris, you on the hot seat, man. Who's your Strong Arm Performer of the Week and why?
It's easy. It's only one guy deserving, homie. It's only one guy deserving. And that's none other than Washington Wizard point guard John Wall. John Wall played 43 minutes, Spade. Had 42 points, 11 to 17 from the field. Had 8 dimes, 4 steals, and a 115-99 win over your Atlanta Hawks to close them out 4-2. John Wall for that performance. What?
Don't say my Atlanta Hawks.
Your Atlanta Hawks. Your Atlanta Hawks to close them out with a 4-2 series. For that performance, John Wall, you are my Strong Arm Performer of the Week. John Wall. Your Atlanta Hawks.
You better get it done this round too. I'm gonna revoke that. I guess he's deserving. That's pretty good. Me, I'm gonna go with a feel-good story for mine. My Strong Arm Performer of the Week, I'm going over to the NFL, and I know what you guys are thinking. Season ain't started yet, Spade. How can you have a Strong Arm Performer of the Week over there? Because I can. I want to give mine. I don't know if I want to give mine to the Pittsburgh Steelers organization, if I want to give it to Mike Tomlin or what, but the Pittsburgh Steelers drafted Pittsburgh running back James Conner. Now, if you guys don't remember this, Conner has had a well-documented bout with cancer and fought his way back onto the field. He's been an inspiration for other people going through their own cancer battles. And what I liked was the phone call. They said that Mike Tomlin called him and asked him on the phone, "Where are you? Are you in Erie?" And then he told him, well, get in your car and drive down. We're not going to reimburse you for your gas mileage. They said it was a dramatic pause, and Tomlin said, man, I'm just joking. Congratulations, man, to you and your family. We are excited for you. And I think it's dope. Of course, you know, the Pitt and Pitt situation right there. I'm sure they saw a lot of the kid. And, hey, I like it, man. I hate cancer. And anytime somebody can kind of stick it to cancer, you win an award from me. So Pittsburgh, Mike Tomlin, James Conner, all three of y'all are my strong arm performers of the week.
Listen, man. Spade, you know I've been a Conner fan ever since he was in college, Spade. I've been telling you about this guy for years. Like,
wait, man, telling me I remember this kid when he was in Pop Warner.
Spade, I'm rooting for this guy, man, and I hope he's successful. It's gonna be tough. I don't know if that means D'Angelo Williams is out of there. I don't know, but you know they got Le'Veon Bell. I think he can definitely help the Pittsburgh Steelers. I'm rooting for the kid. Spade, stories like that, man. It was another story about Travis Rudolph with the little kid that he sat with. Had a nice little story. Invited the little kid to come. I like stories like that, Spade, and I like stories that. I like redemption stories like James Conner. Dude fought. They said, what, Spade? Quick story. They said while he was undergoing treatment, he was still practicing with the team. That just shows the fight that kid have. That's a great strong arm performer of the week by you. I thought it was going to go to James Harden or something, knowing you. But that's a good one.
I mean, it could have.
No, it couldn't. James Harden got the yips. He got the yips. But Spade, it's been a great show, man.
That's what
it's been
we
a long
do.
show. It's been a long show. We want to thank you guys for tuning in to Strong Arm Sports. Listen, it's been a long show, but hey, listen, pause it, watch some NBA basketball, and then listen to the rest of it. But bang the like first. If you new here, hit the subscribe.
There's gonna be a ton of commercials during that game.
Oh yeah, you damn right. You know what I mean? If you new here, bang the subscribe button. If you're a regular here, hit the like button. If you don't want to see two dudes arguing in a box, it's okay. We got audio podcasts everywhere. SoundCloud, UPodOmatic, iTunes. Where you guys show so much support over there. We can't thank you guys enough. Spade, you got anything else to add?
Nope.
But then we'll see you guys next episode. We out. Peace.